Hi, this is Colorful Foresight where we intuitively connect from within. And it's woo woo time where we connect our woo woo into our mundane living. So, Angela, how are you? We're going to review of how we felt about that video we did sharing about the miracles.
The giggling Gerties.
We removed it. We're removing it, but there is a video which is more serious because there's sacredness, and when you're sharing something about that, especially about another organization. But then after we did the video, we were in the energy of causeless love. It brings like a lot of joy and happiness, and we were so like excited about the interesting miracle that Angela got in the altar, and we were just so giggling and goofy, and I thought it was hilarious. But once I had it out to share that side, I was so uncomfortable, and Angela was uncomfortable. But that's how we are. So I figured let's do a video on this. I am removing that video. That's more for Angela and I. Whoever got to see it, you're lucky.
Yes.
So what is that feeling? Because that's part of the. You don't have to do the woo-woo stuff because you want to be taken seriously. It's just like I don't know that the part of that. Seeing that silliness. It's who I am. But I guess there's a time and place for everything. What do you think?
I thought it was more for me when I watched it to get rid of fear of looking like an idiot in public and making mistakes. I've been having a lot of things in my life where I'm in public and I'm doing music and I make mistakes, and then this rush of hot shame energy comes through my body, and I just go, get over yourself. You're here to share and just share, which I think is really important for the Aquarian energy that I'm obsessed about, sharing and bringing people together, especially after the pandemic and people's phobia about being in public or being together. So for me, it was really to get over myself and just go, yeah, that's who you are. And what are you afraid of? The next generation, they're less phobic about looking silly in public, maybe because they're young.
Yeah.
And so it was a really good exercise of just going, yeah, just put it out there and people can think what they think, but are you going to hold on to that shame or fear and just not care anymore?
I mean, I loved it, but then I'm like, are they going to understand it? I guess I am worried about what others think. Also putting it out there. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to remove it. And it's a great memory. I'll get to watch it. But it is a great reminder, like, okay. Actually, I like when people get a little silly and goofy. They're the fine line. The more I do these type of videos, and I get to watch it as well, they're the balance to bring in the silly. And I guess it's depending on the moment. If I was like on a radio show and everybody was being silly, I would just go along with it. So yeah, it was totally interesting. Like you and I going, yeah, I like it, but at the same time, I don't know.
I was thinking, are they going to even understand my words? Because I got to the point where I was laughing and speaking at the same time, but the words weren't that clear.
You know what it is? It is all in context. Like even when I was editing it, I'm like, I understand it, but will they understand it? And then, so it is what it is. So this is about just letting go. It is what it is. Enjoy it, embrace it. I thought I'd do a mini video of this because I'm replacing that video with this. And it's the growth. I feel more free. Even though I'm removing it, it's more like a sacredness, I feel like. It was a sacred moment. Maybe that's why it was behind the scene. It was sacred. And that's another thing, learning about sacredness, of bringing that in again about anything, like honoring the planet, honoring our body, honoring the other person. So all that comes to play.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. That's a good message for me too.
Yeah. You came in the beginning of the video so radiant. You were so radiant. Now I'm going to make you embarrassed. You were so freaking radiant. I was like, oh, I can't stop looking at her. Now I get it. I was like, yeah, wow, she looks so radiant.
It's a soma. And then you started feeling it and drinking your water too. You're like, let me have some of that. Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, look at me. Oh, no, really?
Normally people are like, oh my God, I got to cut that out. I'm like, no, we're going to leave that in.